Do you think you have to believe in God to go to church?
Sorry, we're laughing because
you don't have to believe to belong.
There we are. I knew that was coming.
Say it again, because
you don't have to believe to belong.
I gave a more fulsome answer. Suanne will tell you I always give more fulsome answers. Yesterday, I was at a funeral, and someone said to me, I don't go to church because I don't know if I believe what everyone else believes. And I said, you can come to a church with 1,000 people and no two people there are going to believe the same thing. It isn't important to believe the same thing as it is that you're there for a similar purpose and you're trying to follow Jesus as best you can. Because we're just not all going to believe the same thing. That isn't anybody who said, I worry about churches where they demand that you have to say you believe exactly the same thing the same way. That to me is not healthy.
Yeah, I agree. I think certainty is not a healthy thing in life. I think there is so much mystery, so much that we cannot understand. But what's really important is just being open, opening our hearts, being kind, being willing to listen to others, being willing to share our own stories, and being willing to be part of the bigger story, to take our place in the world and make a difference.
It's also about community. I mean, you two have mentioned that word multiple times today and every time we talk, but I fear that's the piece that is lost right now, and I know we've talked about this study or survey that was done in Toronto, and they found 300,000 people were experiencing a sense of loneliness, and you both have talked so much about the role of the church in combating loneliness, being a place of community where you know that you belong to some people, not because of necessarily what you believe, but that you care about people and you care about each other, and you need to know that you are a part of something and that someone will miss you when you are not around. And one of the things that I fear, I'm just sharing with you personally, is that because we are so sort of societally negative about participating in church, or going to being a part of a faith community, or going to a temple, or or mosque, that somehow, because you're not a part of it, you don't get to have the privilege of connecting to people that maybe are not your family, but you can be friends with, you can break bread with, you can make a life with, but because we're so negative about religion, we kill that part. That is really the part that keeps religion going, is the community piece.
Yeah, I think there's the institutional piece, which can be very broken at times, and yet is necessary. But the community piece, that is what it is at its core. Right, that is where the good news is shared, is in the community, and everybody receives different good news. Right, I think every story and every passage of the New Testament tries to shine a light on the good news in a different way, and I think we do that with our lives too. Right, we show people the good news by how we live. We show people that they are loved, that they are precious, that they are included. And that is the beauty of a healthy church community.
And I think you were talking about menus before, but you were also talking about multi-faiths before. And I'm, as a participant in our interfaith community, I can just say that there are plenty of healthy faith communities that are not Christian as well. And so just finding any kind of faith community, because the strength of, I keep using the word faith community, church, mosque, whatever, is the community piece, and it always has been, and it's always been one of the strengths has been the multi-generational nature of that community, so that people are looking after each other, whether you're older and someone younger is looking after you, or the other way around, or whether you gain wisdom from those people who have more life experience than you, or whether you gain energy from the people who are younger than you. There's always benefits of being in community. And churches have been a place, when they're healthy, when the community itself is healthy, where we can gain the most as a human being for the rest of our life. Like, when we go out into the world to do other things, coming back into that community is what gives us strength. It gives us peace. It gives us a sense of belonging, but it also gives us a sense of, I'm part of a greater whole that gives me the ability to go out into the world to do so, because I know I can always come back to that place. And we see it all the time when people are in situations where they are really struggling, where they are suffering. And when you're already part of that kind of community, they will lift you up, they will carry you, they will look after you. And we see that constantly, day after day after day, and it means a lot to people. For many people, it makes the difference in their life that they are part of that community.